The top 10 biggest wins in Brewers history. There's a new one after this season. Number 10, 1981, Game 108, which was the second to last one of that season. A 95-win season in 1979 wasn't good enough for the franchise's first playoff trip. Instead, it came in a season that involved a strike, and in the bottom of the 8th, the Brewers were down 1-0. Simmons and Cooper played some small ball, getting a ground ball and a sac fly to take the lead, and then Raleigh Fingers went and shut the door in the 9th.
Tied up.
Number 9, 1982 World Series Game 4. Down 2-1 in the series heading in this game, this was nearly a must-win game for the crew. Haas struggled on the mound, putting the Brewers down 4-0 just in the second. And then down 5-1 heading into the 7th, the crew had 2 on and 2 outs. And then the next 7 batters would reach, and by the time this inning was over, the Brewers were up 7-5, finishing with that score to even up the 1982 World Series.
Base hit, right field. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Heading for third is Molitor. 5-4. Hot smash. Knocked down. We're tied up. Base hit. Brewers will take the lead. 1 run in. 2 runs are in. Simmons heading for third. Thomas for second.
2018 NLCS Game 6. After being up 2-1 in the series against the Dodgers in the 2018 National League Championship Series, the Brewers would lose the next 2 in LA, coming back home to Milwaukee, need to win the next 2 to get back to the World Series. Unfortunately, David Freese was David Freese and put the Brewers down in an early 1-0 hole in the first. But then the offense came out and absolutely knocked around Ryu, scoring 5 runs in those first 2 innings. The offense would knock on 2 more, and the bullpen went scoreless after Miley left, and the Brewers would end up winning 7-2 to force the Game 7.
That is into right, base hit. 1 run scores. The throw home, too late. Brewers lead. Moustakas adds to the lead. Aguilar coming to the plate. Back-to-back doubles at second with 2 out. Kratz goes the opposite way. Here comes Moustakas. Throw by Puig is cut up. Into right center field. That ball is down to the wall. Yelich scores. Another extra base hit. 5-1, Milwaukee. Kemp pops it up. Aguilar is there, and Game 7.
2018 Game 163. The Brewers were 6 games back in the National League Central on August 28th. A 19-7 September, which included a 7-game win streak heading into this game, tied up the Central to force this game 163 at Wrigley. The team's ace that year, Jhoulys Chacin, and the bullpen were nearly unhittable, giving up just 3 hits and the 1 run, which was a solo shot to Rizzo. And the top of the order took care of business in this game because all 3 guys in the top of the order went and had 1 RBI each. Of course, including 2 runs in the 8th from Kane and Brawny, giving them a 3-run lead, which Josh Hader would help save, and the Brewers would win the Central for the first time since 2011.
On the line, and he delivers. Christian Yelich knocks in Arcia. Back up the middle, and Lorenzo Cain looks at his bench as he drives in Arcia. He goes, and that one is over the head of Murphy. Cain will go to third. A huge add-on run for the Milwaukee Brewers. Right field, playable. Broxton, game over, division over. The Brewers are champions of the Central.
Back to 1982 World Series Game 1. This was the St. Louis Cardinals' 13th World Series appearance, while the Brewers were making their first trip here. And with that, of course, the Brewers wanted to come out and make a statement. Caldwell threw a complete game shutout for the Brewers, and the offense led by Yount and Molitor. Yount had 4 hits, and Molitor had 5 hits. That helped score 10 runs, and the Brewers would win 10-0 with the Brewers' first World Series win in franchise history.
Number 1 of a World Series. Smith knocks it down. He's up. Here's a throw. It is not in time. That's a 5th base hit, and it's a 10-0 ball game. The division and maybe the pennant for the Brewers. A great Harry Dalton trade or move. Foul territory, Cooper makes the play.
The new one this year, 2025 NLDS Game 5. Pocket Pancakes and the Power of Friendship got the Brewers to 97 wins, a franchise record this year. And also, of course, their third straight division title. But many still picked an early exit for the Brewers, mainly because they didn't play the right way and because of their past playoff failures. And after winning the first two games in Milwaukee, the Chicago Cubs would go and win the next two at their place, setting up a Game 5 at AmFam. 3 solo shots and heroics from the entire pitching staff this game. The Brewers defeated the Cubs and won the series for the first playoff series win in 7 years.
It's Deals. Fly ball left center. Crow Armstrong is on the move. He's running out of room. It's gone! Move on the pitch. And a drive out to left. It is back. Happ at the track at the wall. Bye-bye baseball!
A bat from the left side. Called strike 3 on the outside.
For Terang. Here's the pitch. And Terang, a fly ball to center. Crow Armstrong's back at the track. It is gone! He deals to Carson Kelly. Swinging a bouncer to short. Ortiz has it. And the Brewers are going to the championship series.
Another game 163. How about from 1982? The Brewers led the Orioles by 4 games, and then they'd go and lose 4 in a row, including 3 to Baltimore, setting up a game 163. The winner of this would go and win the American League East. Hall of Famers Don Sutton would go and pitch 8 innings while Robin Yount went deep twice. This helped lead the Brewers to a 10-2 victory and an American League East division title.
High to left field. Ogilvy. Waiting. It's over. The Milwaukee Brewers have defeated the Baltimore Orioles 10-2, and they have won the American League Eastern Division Championship for 1982.
2008, Game 162. Brewers win guaranteed themselves they'd play a Game 163 against the Mets, but a Brewers win and a Mets loss got the Brewers in the postseason for the first time in 26 years. CC Sabathia tucked them out on short rest again, and he threw his 7th complete game in a Brewers uniform. That on top of arguably the biggest home run in Brewers history, a 2-run shot from Ryan Braun in the bottom of the 8th, gave the Brewers a 3-1 victory over the Cubs. Just a little bit later, the Mets would lose and the Brewers would clinch the wild card spot.
The pitch to him. Swing and a drive. Left center and deep. Get up. Get out of here. Gone. Here it is. Swing and a bouncer. Double play ball. JJ second. Relay. Double play. Oh, what a finish.
2011 NLDS Game 5. Although 2008 finally gave the Brewers a playoff berth, they were still in seek of their first playoff series win since '82. And also their first division title in the National League. The team would win the Central by 6 games, and just like 2025, the Brewers would win the first 2. Arizona would go and win the 2 on the road, forcing a Game 5 in Milwaukee. John Axford blew the save in the 9th, leading to extra innings. Carlos Gomez singled, stole second, setting up Nyjer Morgan. T. Plush would walk it off and cement himself in Brewers history with this hit, also giving the Brewers that playoff series win.
This one looped out toward center field. That's going to get down for a hit. Braun's being waved around. Uni shows bunt, puts it up first base line. The safety squeeze. The play, there is none. Back at third, now creeping in as Gomez pulls one to left field, a base hit. Gomez takes off, and the ball gets away. 2-2. Morgan base hit up the middle. Gomez is going to be waved around. The throw to the plate. Not in time, and the Brewers advance to the National League Championship Series.
But the biggest win in Brewers history was 1982 ALCS Game 5. The Brewers are down 2-0 in the American League Championship Series. They'd go and win the next 2, force up a Game 5 at County Stadium. Down 3-2 heading into the bottom of the 7th, Cecil Cooper would have arguably, I don't know how you can argue against it, the biggest hit in franchise history. A single to left field to score Moore and Ganter and give the Brewers a 4-3 lead. The bullpen would finish it out, sending the Brewers to their first, and still only, World Series in franchise history.
Left field, base hit, tying run, Moore comes to score. Gantner on his way to the plate, throw through, Brewers lead. 2. The shortstop, Yount. Milwaukee has won it.
Hopefully at this time next year, this list is very outdated and a World Series victory game Let's go with 6. Brewers in 6 is number 1 next time.